Good morning, it's Bob Massi, it's Facebook Live. This is the first time I've used my phone since we had that problem a few weeks ago. So if it doesn't work, you'll let me know and I'll redo it again on somebody else's phone. So on Friday, I asked for some subject matter and you sent different comments. I'll cover a few this morning and maybe towards the end of the week do some more, but for sure cover as many as I can. One of the first questions was probate in the state of Nevada. Let me explain to you about a probate, what it means. First of all, people think if they have a will, that means it doesn't go to probate. Well, here's what a probate is. It is the process through the courts after someone passes that fulfills the wishes in your will, or if you don't have the will, your estate is distributed according to the laws of the state of Nevada. A will is what's ultimately probated, meaning that the court will appoint a executor, or now we call personal representative, to fulfill your wishes. Many times it's friends, husband and wife. One of them has passed and it has to go through the probate. For example, let's say you are married, but let's say you have a home that is only in your name, a married person as sole and separate property, and it's just your name. Well, if you don't change that into a joint tenancy with your spouse, or do a document called a deed effective upon death, meaning that upon your death it automatically passes. In order to get that property out of your name as a decedent, the will that you've prepared, hopefully, has to be recognized by the court. A personal representative is appointed, usually the surviving spouse in that case, or partner, whatever it may be. And then ultimately the wishes of your will are finalized and you pass it from you, the personal representative, to the heir. So it's very important. People seem to think that if you have a bank account only in your name, or let's say you have a bank account with joint ownership between yourself and your spouse or your partner or your children, and there's a common accident, what happens to that money? How is it passed? It must then again go through the probate. So probate is a court process that ultimately fulfills the wishes in your will, or if you don't have a will, the inheritance as according to the laws of the state of Nevada. So that's how it works. It's not as complicated as people think. Most of the probates that I've done over my years, honestly, you have to give a certain time of notice to creditors and things like that, but it's not that difficult to do. Amy, there was another question. What was it in?
Reverse mortgages.
Okay, reverse mortgages. I don't propose to be an expert in reverse mortgages, but I know enough to tell you what they're about. So you're 62 years or older, which is one of the requirements, although your spouse, another spouse doesn't have to be 62 years or older. Just one of you, which is commonly how it's used. And you have equity in your house, or you own your house free and clear. And you want to travel and you don't have enough assets put away. You could go to a mortgage company and they will loan you a certain amount of money against the value of your home. And people think that, well, if I get a reverse mortgage, I lose my home. That's not the way it works. The difference is, instead of you making a payment to a mortgage company, they're paying you. You could take it in a lump sum, you could take it over time. The biggest thing with reverse mortgages you have to be careful of is you need to get people that are ethical and explain it the right way, because many times there's hidden fees. It's like any other mortgage. If you pass on, obviously it has to be sold or the mortgage has to be paid off because the person that was living in there, although my understanding is, and those of you who are experts out there in reverse mortgages that know this better than I do, my understanding is that it used to be in the old days that if your spouse you left behind was not 62, they had to get out. My understanding that was changed a few years ago. So bottom line is, reverse mortgages where you get money advanced to you and you don't have to make payments on that money. There's interest that obviously has to be paid on the money. You're still responsible for your homeowner's insurance. You're responsible for your HOA dues. You're responsible for your property taxes. What they do now, by the way, they're a little more informed, where you now have to give them your tax returns, bank statements, because they want to make sure that it's going to be able to be paid back at some point. And they do, I think, what's called a some type of set off where, dependent upon your income, they keep a certain amount of money out for like 12 months, and that's to pay the necessities of the property. Because a lot of the reverse mortgages a few years back were foreclosed on because the homeowner wasn't paying the HOA dues, they weren't paying the property taxes, the insurance. So bottom line is you have to get to a very good reverse mortgage expert. I have a couple names in Las Vegas. If you decide you want to do it, just let me know. What's the next one?
Issues with employment.
I'm not an employment lawyer. The question was, what happens if you're working for an employer and you're not getting your paycheck? Then you should go to the labor board immediately. You should file a complaint or call them up and say, look, I'm employed, I'm not getting paid. You're not an independent contractor, because they don't fool with that. And you file a complaint with them to make sure you get paid. And again, I'm not an employment lawyer, but that's the first thing you need to do is contact the Labor Commission and say, hey, I've been employed with this company for X amount of months. That may be my paychecks. My understanding is, again, that if you're an independent contractor, they don't handle those things. So anyway, just so you know.
And then lastly, changing your house into your own name after someone's death.
Yes. So somebody wrote in and said that their mom passed and the lawyer didn't finish the probate and the house you inherited the house. Depending upon where you are with the probate process, if it's closed, you may have to reopen it in order to get that house transferred into your name. If it's not closed, then obviously you have to get it approved by the court, what's called a first and final accounting. If you're at that stage and the probate's been closed, you'll call my office for an appointment. 702-870-1100 is the office number. Call in for a consultation and we'll talk about it. We'll do what we have to do. There's some other questions on there that I didn't have a chance to get to, but I will. I'll handle the questions. But those are basically some general things for a Monday morning. I think that's enough to get us started. Remember, it's Massi and Massi, attorneys at law. Share this with your friends and family members. We're located at 105 North Pecos Road, Suite 100 on the corner of Pecos and Wigwam. If you're interested in getting our monthly newsletter, let us know that. We do send out a monthly newsletter.
Go to our website. And
you can go to the website, massiandmassi.com. We have some new pictures that's going to be going up soon. I'm going to be doing some podcasts, different things like that. And it's all good. It's what's that?
Blog posts.
Yeah, blog posts. We got some good blogs up there, different subjects. We're posting more this week. So I'm getting more with the 21st century, this old baby boomer here. Anyway, thanks for listening. And maybe we'll do some stuff towards the end of the week. We'll boost this out. And if you need some legal advice, give us a call. Remember, I do personal injury real estate business and wills, trust, probate, and legal consultations. Talk soon.